Welcome back to the Scene Speaks podcast. Ooh, I'm so glad that you are back and you're joining us again for the next topic, the next conversation that needs to be had. More than anything, today we are delving into a topic that hits home for many. And you're probably wondering what that topic is. But before we delve into this, I just need you to actually check out what this Scene Speaks is all about and then come back. We will be waiting for you. Welcome to the Scene Speaks podcast, where we delve into the fabric of societal issues through captivating lens of TV storytelling. We are unpacking social and impactful issues through the lens of TV. Hi, I am Lebogang Mitzileng, your host and a guide to a journey through the scenes that speak volumes about our world. Well, yeah, and now you know what we're all about. Like I said, today we're actually delving into a topic that hits home to, many women, and it is all around daddy issues. Yeah, daddy issues. I don't like the term daddy issues. It looks like I'm saying you have the problem because the father decided not to play his part, but we'll stick to daddy issues as a, the subject line for now because some people might get it in the beginning. But yeah, let's actually set the scene a little bit. We are in season 4 of episode 10 of the Housewives of Durban. You can check it out. I will also just play a minute clip for you. Now, we witness a powerful moment between a woman by the name of Slee and her father. She's bravely confronting his father about her longing for his presence, in her life, and just despite of her being an adult. Right, please check out this video. Come back. I will be unplaiting my hair, and yeah, you will hear what I have to say about that.
Hello?
Hi, Dad.
Hi, honey, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you, Dad?
I'm good, man. Long time.
Happy New Year. Yes, long time. We haven't spoken in a minute. I've been going through therapy, Pops, and, certain things came about in terms of my relationships in general with men and why, the relationships in the past that I had haven't worked out. I've got these abandonment issues, so I just wanted to chat to you about that, Pops, and just maybe get your feel around that whole thing and that whole situation. I'm aware that now I've all grown up, whatever issues were there obviously shouldn't affect me that much, but unfortunately it does, and also in my spirituality.
So what's the problem now?
And yeah, that is the scene that we are actually focusing on today. And I was just a little bit, thrown aback by what the father's response was. However, that is the scene that we are actually focusing on today. I believe the scene did set the tone for the conversation that we are going to have. And I want that as we go through this conversation, as we are engaging in this conversation, you put in mind the scene that we just went through, and if you feel like we are losing touch or you are losing touch with what the scene was all about, just go check out the episode, right? More than anything, while I was watching this scene, and I couldn't just stop going back and just playing it, and not because I am not understanding what is happening, but more so because of the emotions that are introduced, in this scene. There is a feeling or an emotion of, longing for a father, a father's conversation. There is an emotion for wanting to start a conversation with a father with aims to find a solution that might take the daughter-father relationship to another level. we are also introduced to a theme of, absent fathers. And more importantly in this case, because we are dealing with the scene of an adult, it's absent fathers from the eye of an adult, in this case being a woman. And we will be dissecting all of that. We will be dissecting how that becomes a challenge on its own in your life as a woman, and this scene already portrays it to us. I don't think this character had to, tell us more than what she had just said. You can hear from how she's speaking also, and how she's also relaying her emotions and how she's feeling to her father, that it's nothing but the longing of the father, and that I can do anything to make sure that our relationship works, to make sure that I can safely say I have an active father in my life. Because I think there is just this, the misunderstanding or misconception in the fathers that are not so present in their children's lives or daughters' life. There's a misconception that, as long as I get to call you son, as long as, I check you once in 6 months, it's enough, like Johnny. And so the aim of this episode, right, is to dissect all those themes and to also, double click on this scene into our own realities. And I believe that even if while you're watching this, for sure that there's someone out there who is encountering something like this, or maybe you are the person that is actually, encountering this full blown, and this is for you. As I continue to unplait my hair, I think let me get juice for myself and go in it and jump into it, right? Stay with me. Thank you for the drink. Like I said, I need a drink for us to actually move on. So if you continue watching that episode, you would see that she actually continues to have the conversation with her father, and she further expresses her desire to attend therapy with her father. And the response from the father, again, it's not so much favorable, which is another topic that we'll then speak about, that speaks about this mindset of that men have, not wanting to open up to psychologists or opening up to strangers that are qualified, in this case, psychologists, because more than anything, that is his response. His response is that he won't speak about his issues to somebody that he doesn't know. He doesn't speak about, his issues to other people, So, like I said, that's a conversation for another day. But as you watch the episode, we are reminded of, the complexities of the parent-child relationships, right? Especially where there is this absence of the father, or a disconnect between the father and the daughter, right? And more than anything, what this scene does is it highlights the universal truth of actually longing for a father's love and guidance, and that longing doesn't actually diminish with age. It doesn't diminish with age. And as you continue to watch the episode, you see that you will hear that she highlights that she is aware that she's a bit older now, and that maybe she should be able to deal with this situation much better. For me personally, but personally, I don't believe she was even supposed to, highlight that fact that now she's older, and it doesn't really matter, the absence of a father, whether you are older or younger, the negative impacts that thing has, has nothing to do with age. And I know there's also the assumption that, come on, Slee, you are older now, I'm sure this shouldn't be an issue. Or maybe you are saying, come on to somebody in your space, and you are saying, that shouldn't be an issue for you, a little bit older now, I guess you should have done the healing. There is that assumption that because you have reached a certain age, there is a certain way of healing as that you should have met as a person. But we don't understand how the magnitude of this scene, the magnitude of such a reality to somebody, that it can literally make or break your perceptions about men. And that's what she highlights. It can make or break your perceptions about men in your society, men that you get into relationships with, marriage that you get into, men in general. And I think we have heard of this term, or it's a phrase rather, that a lot of young women would use to say that the first man that actually broke my heart, or the first man that hurt me, was my father, and oftentimes when they say that, they are saying that aligning to situations like this, father being absent, or father just doing the first traumatic thing that they ever thought of or thought about, right? Yeah, I don't know, I just feel like I should play the scene again, but it's really okay. We can actually pass, and yeah. So maybe the question right now to somebody who doesn't have this encounter, or has never had an encounter like this, has a question, right? And maybe you are saying, why is it that even as adults, you may still yearn for your father's approval, or for your father's affection, right? And you're just questioning that, you're just wondering, right? And you want the answer. But I think what I'm taking from all of this, and what I'm also taking from myself as an adult, is that a father figure basically represents stability. A father figure is a representation of stability, of security, and of a sense of identity. And this applies to both genders, whether female or male. A father represents those things. I know that I'm secure. I know that I have, identity. I also understand that I'm also stable. And that is what actually men were designed to be received as in the society. When hence you would say that the Bible would also speak about the man being able to provide. Being able to provide, provision is stability, and that in essence is what a man in general is designed to be received as in the society. And that is why even when you're an adult who has had his father not being present in their lives, you start having those parts of your life, questioned, your self-identity. We have seen that happen quite a lot for men, especially them suffering with, the identity, especially where surname is concerned. But we're actually not delving into that. But this is me giving you the answer to say, why does adults still want their father to play a role in their lives, Yeah. Okay, guys, I am still unplaiting my hair, as you can see, but as I'm actually doing this also, I can't help but to also reflect in in her experience and my own experiences also, from the stories we have came across in our own lives about stories like this, you surely know how sad this is. Jongasana, it's this type of thing actually, if you don't get to deal with it the right way, what this does, or what the absence of the figure that is the father does, is that their absence leaves you with this void, right, which you seek to fill throughout your entire life. You seek to fill it, throughout your entire life. And I guess many can also attest to the fact that they have had of those situations, or they have seen people who actually were trying to use them as their own fathers, filling in that void, the absence of the father. Yeah. And I don't know if fathers know how it feels for women. I don't know if they know how it feels for their kids,